Starting a business has a lot to do with recognizing opportunities and taking action. Many success stories right here in Columbia did not necessarily come from a childhood dream that became a reality, but rather from a need that had to be filled. Such an occasion is Caleb's story. Opportunity came knocking on his door just over a year ago, dressed for a wedding.
Leading up to my wedding, my wife and I were trying to find apps to communicate with our couples, or our guests, excuse me. And in the process of doing that, there are many different wedding apps out there, but all of them require our guests to download the app for us to communicate with them. Myself and two software engineers were working on a completely different type of software at the time. And my wife said, why don't you use the software that y'all built and send scheduled text messages to all of our wedding guests? So that's what we tested at our wedding last June, and here we are today with WedText.
My videographer actually mentioned it to me when we were sitting down and talking to him about everything we wanted. He was like, oh yeah, you should check out this app, WedText, and told me a little bit about it, and I downloaded it immediately. I've got things ready for the couple of weeks before the wedding, but I have used it with my bridal party, my bridesmaids, letting them know, okay, you have a week to get your measurements done and things like that. It's been awesome. And I already have some text messages set up for the rehearsal dinner and the night before the wedding and things like that. So I don't even have to worry about it.
The wedding guests don't have to download any app whatsoever. And all the text messages, all the reminders can be scheduled days, weeks, months in advance, like Lindsay has said. So it really is the easiest way to make sure that whatever you need the guests to know, they know.
I grew up with Caleb, so it's awesome to kind of get hooked back up for something that he's doing. He built it from the ground up, so we lost touch, but now it's just like, oh wow, Caleb, you're helping me plan my wedding, you didn't even know it.
I get an email every single time somebody creates an account. So whenever Lindsay created the account a few months back, I was ecstatic, and I of course sent her a quick email, and like she said, we've kind of fallen out of contact. So it's a really cool feeling to know that we've worked so hard, and the engineers have done a great job building something, and seeing people sign up for it, and it's given us a chance to reconnect, and I'm super happy for her and Jason.
Around the same time that Caleb was developing WedTexts, Heather also received a visit from Opportunity, dressed for a wedding as well.
When I was engaged, I found going through the whole registry process really limited. I was registering at Bed Bath & Beyond and Target and things like that, and I was like, I really don't need any more towels. And I've always been really involved in the local community here in Columbia and with our local artisans. And out of selfish reason, I was like, I want to register for really cool things. I talked to a bunch of local stores and would you be interested in using Vesta and promoting Vesta? And they were like, absolutely. So Vesta was born.
Jesse, who is a little bit involved with Vesta as well, he works with me, and he just reached out and was like, hey, there's this platform as something that you can add to your registry and be able to have things from local stores and even things that are just not doable with your standard registry. It was super interesting to us kind of initially, and so we're able to reach out and get in contact with Heather and kind of got the ball rolling from there.
They can take a picture of the product, it uploads to the registry, and it's added from there. And the customer who buys a gift can buy it just like they would any other registry item.
When we first started dating, I was working night shift and he was working part-time. So we would actually come here to drip a lot before, for morning coffee, so at 5:30 p.m. before I went to work, and had early morning coffee dates here. So we got to register for coffee dates at Drip because that's still somewhere that we like to come, and hang out. So it's been fun to be these are special things to us as a couple that are a part of our local scene that we would love to continue doing.
I think there's a really great drive for local product, local food, local gifts in Columbia. Soda City Market right outside here that happens every weekend. There's a great push for that in Columbia. So I think something like Vesta will really take on quickly. And I really quickly found a couple couples who are really interested in using it. And as I talk to local stores, they're fully on board. So I think it's going to be fully embraced, and hopefully soon we'll be in Charleston too.
Neither Heather or Caleb ever thought that they would be in the wedding business, but they have a passion for solving problems and making life a little easier. They seized the opportunities that came their way, and it has brought them together in an industry that needed their innovative abilities. They have connected with diverse people, reestablished old friendships, and brought new talent to their city. They are paving the way not just for the wedding industry in Columbia, but for tech and entrepreneurship in all sectors of our community.